Hey, what's up, everybody? Today on YouTube, we're going to take a look at the song creator in EZdrummer 3. Okay, so let's make this thing full screen. All right. So what we're going to mess with is the song creator. So it's at the bottom of EZdrummer 3. It's broken into two parts. You have arrangements and song parts. And basically the way it starts is you would drag a MIDI drum track into here, and it would give you suggestions on how to put a song together. It's kind of interesting. So if you go to Grooves and then pick the library you want to use, since using this last time, I know I haven't made an EZdrummer video in a while, but I did pick up the EZX Rock, and I feel like I picked up something else too, but EZX Rock, I'll just stick with that one. So Metal Machine's one of my favorites. Progressive, it's okay. I like the EZX Rock one. It's standard rock. So for this example, I'm going to use Metal Machine because they come with some pretty cool drum parts. Gods at 210, yeah. Funny thing is that's not the tempo that they suggest. 210 is the tempo, but when you play it, you have to set it. All right, so I'll drag it in there. Let's do that. Tempo's down here. I want to change it to 210. That's what they recommend, so let's see what it sounds like. Pretty awesome. All right. So here's the way they recommend the arrangements. So I dragged it in. You got 12 bar basic. Okay. You can choose the structure of your song. So if your song is a standard radio song, which would probably be like an AB, AB, or an AB, AB, CB kind of thing. So let's just stick with AB, AB, because you can always add the C in there if you want to for the bridge. So what I mean when I say AB, AB, I mean A meaning the verse, B meaning the chorus, then A is back to a second verse, and then B back to a chorus. And then C would usually be the bridge, and then you would usually end with another chorus. So that is a basic song structure. A lot of songs on the radio kind of follow that pattern. So not all, but a lot of them do. So you can choose a song structure. Let's go ABAB short, just out of curiosity. So you can see it changed here, and they recommended they have an intro, they have a verse, they have a chorus, they have another verse, another chorus, a bridge, and a chorus, and then an ending. Your typical song. So even though it says ABAB short, they did give you the bridge. So that's kind of cool. Now, how do we hear this is the big question. You can drag the stuff down there like that, and voila. So let's hear the song that they created for us. Kind of cool. Not bad. I mean, me personally, for writing, I wouldn't necessarily just write a drum track like that. But it's cool to see how what they suggest like which verses to use, which chorus to use, which bridge to use, based on one MIDI MIDI sample I picked and dragged down here in the song creator. So yeah, you choose your arrangement and then drag it in and then check it out. And of course you can change it if you don't like. If I don't like this chorus part, like I can literally just change that part. And check this out too. You can change the power hand, which is just crazy. Like you can, there's just so much stuff you can alter. Tight tip. Here we go. Okay, you got amount, the velocity. Let's see. Let's try the closed edge. Okay, so what's going to happen, even though it sounds the same when I hit it with my mouse, when I play that part, now you hear the hi-hat is now closed, right? So let's check out the tight tip again. So I didn't actually hit play last time, but so you get like a shorter closed hi-hat sound, which is more like a staccato. That's the tight tip. And then, you get your choices, your open edge quarter note accents, which is kind of cool too. Let's check that out. And you can hear it's a tad bit louder on those down hi-hat beats. There's your accents on the quarter notes. And again, like you can do this for any of the instruments. It's kind of cool. The opening hit, you can adjust that. You can bow it. Let's hear that. Let's see. So you select the groove that you want to edit, right? So if I want to edit the intro, let's go back to this a second. You can turn it off. And you'll see whatever it changes, you can kind of see the dots. They're lit up black and the rest are gray, like grayed out. So like those are your changes. So if I go to a muted hit, okay, it's going to make these two in the beginning muted and then those two random ones. So I don't know if you were able to pick that up. It was very subtle. Okay, yeah, it was very subtle, but it was there. You can go to another one just to check it out. So here's the opening, the intro, right? It starts with the snare. Whoop, let's bring it back. Cool little drum fill. And again, you can change the same thing, make it more of a center on the drum, the rim shot, the edge, the side stick, or a rim only. So let's see what that sounds like. Kind of weird. Side stick. It's just kind of funny. It's cool that you can do this stuff. Like there is a lot of customization in here, which is kind of, I don't know, makes it more interesting to me because, if you find yourself using a lot of the same drum grooves, which I like a lot. Like I like the metal ones probably more than the other ones because there's a lot more going on with the drum fills. The double bass stuff is kind of cool. And what I'll usually do, like if I'm writing, I'll find one that kind of, I use the, let me go back so I can see what I'm talking about. I use the grooves, like the tap to find. I'll use that a lot. So like, let's say I have a specific like guitar riff and it has a specific rhythm to it. I'll go to the tap to find and I'll actually, punch in the rhythm as close to what I'm playing as possible. And then I'll see their suggestions and then I'll kind of go from there and I'll pull something. And if like, let's say I really like the drum fill in that, I'll probably use it and then I'll make some adjustments. Like I might take out a bass drum hit or whatever. Because sometimes they're close, they're not perfect. So like sometimes the bass drum hits will be, you want it to accent what you're playing, especially if you're playing something metalish. Otherwise, like a lot of times the bass drum will just kind of accent what the bass is playing, the bass guitar. So it's always cool to have that where it kind of follows. And let's say like the one that you found, let's put one in just real quick. Here we go. We're doing Queen here. Do do ch, do do ch. It's gonna be a lot faster though. There you go. So it's this cool do do ch, kind of like a thrash sound. So let's say I like that, right? And I want to find something with that beat. So I'll click search. Boop, takes me back to the grooves. And then in grooves, here you go, 100% match. Okay, now this is based on, again, if you choose one of these specific libraries, it will shorten your search. Okay, so it's like putting a filter, So right now, none of them are selected, even though I originally started with the Metal Machine. But if you're doing tap to find, it's best to leave them all open. It gives you more options, and you pick the one you like the most. So this was a Hats Open Variations from song number 9. I'm not sure exactly which MIDI pack it came from. I don't see it. It usually tells you, but I'm missing it. But anyway, so, no, it doesn't. So what's cool though too, right? So let's say I use this one. All right, and I really like the sound of the drum beats from song 9, okay? I can literally click family right here. Boom. Okay, now I got to scroll back down to find it, but it's in alphabetical order. Song number 9, okay? And then I might want to check out some of the other song 9 drum fills or drum beats because they may go well with what my song is going into. Like let's say I use that for the verse. Okay, they might have a really cool sounding chorus. So like a lot of times what I'll do, especially with changing from sections of a song, is you want to use different sounds. So like let's say the verse uses the hi-hat. Okay, so like for the chorus, you might want to use the ride or a cymbal. So here's one with a ride, so I can click that. Okay, so it gives it like a nice difference because of the ride instead of the hi-hat. This way when it goes back to the verse, it opens back up with the hi-hat. So it's nice to have something where it changes, where you have a little bit of a difference between the two. All right, so going on. Okay, and you can, like I said, you can take this out. Let's say you don't want to use that. Boop, gone. And I want to start building a song based on that beat that I picked, right? Just drag it down. Or again, drag it in here. See what they come up with. They come up with some pretty cool stuff. So, and if your song is an ABAB, you can do short. Let's see what long does. Okay, so it adds another chorus or a longer chorus at the end. So basically what it's doing is it's adding like the bars. Okay, so you got 16 bars of verse, 16 bar chorus, a 16 bar second verse, vice versa, chorus. Bridge is 16 bars, and then your ending chorus is 32, so we'll like repeat it twice. And then your ending. So if you go short, it shortens them all to 8 bars, except for the end where, again, it doubles the chorus to 16. So kind of cool how it does that. I like that. So that is the arrangement. So let's take a look at the song parts real quick. All right, so I have that one fill that I pulled in here, right? So now what is it doing? It's giving me the sections, okay? I got an intro, I got verses, I got pre-choruses, I got choruses, I got bridges, I got fills, and then endings. So you can hear it's very similar to the rhythm I chose. So it would be a good intro if I wanted to start with something like a guitar riff kind of playing that rhythm and then with the hi-hat, and then leading into that verse, going in back into the full. It's cool because like this stuff will give you ideas too. Like, you can sit down with a guitar and just jam on riffs and stuff like that. But then once you start getting into like the drums and adding the rhythm section, you hear these like hi-hat parts, things that I probably wouldn't have used on my own. Like that, I probably wouldn't have thought it out on my own. But now that I hear it, I think, oh, cool, that'd be cool if I started the song with just the guitar riff, like I just said, with like a hi-hat, and then open it up to the verse. That could be like the first verse, and then as it goes, it opens up more into the full-blown. It's up to you. Of course, your song, you mess around with it, see what works best, see what sounds best, and that's pretty much what I do. So. chorus. Chorus is sounding more like this part, you know. The bridge. That's a very different one than they. There we go. I like that one. That's kind of cool. The fills. They're good to like throw in a part. Like let's say like you don't like the drum fill they used leading into like out of the verse and into the pre-chorus or into the chorus. You can just kind of delete that MIDI. So like here's a good example. So if I take verse 5, right, pop it in here, and let's say at the end of verse 5, there was no drum fill. Okay, so I can go into the, let me pop in the fill that I like. Let's say I like fill 11. Pop that in there. You can just add it after if you want, or if you feel like it's uneven because you want that last measure, like where the marker is, to be the drum fill, which is usually where you would pop that. You can literally shorten it and then slide that over. Boom. And now you have... There you go. And now you have your little fill thrown in at the end there. Very handy. You can, of course, go to the grid editor. Oop, there we go. And see everything lined up. And you can take out anything that you want to take out. Again, like when I record, I tend to do a lot of this in Logic because that's where it's going to end up anyway. But it's really nice that EZdrummer put all this in here. You know, I'm sure there's hundreds of videos on YouTube at this point because EZdrummer 3 has been out for a few months now that have all this stuff. But I'm just showing you how I would use it, how I incorporate it when I'm writing music. A lot of what I'll do is kind of pick an instrument to start with. Like guitar or bass or piano, pretty much when I write. And I'll start with one of those things. It could start with a melody, it could start with a rhythm or a riff. And then I'll usually build the drums because I want that to be the backbone of the song, like usual. And I'll build the drum part. I'll have the riff written. And then what I usually do after the drum part is kind of write the bass part. Or if I start with the bass, obviously I'll write the bass part, kind of put a drum part in there. And then, you know, and then of course put the guitars in. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm not going to get too much more in depth, but there's a lot of really cool things you could do. Naturally, if you just play around, look around, you'll find a lot of cool stuff. The song creator, you can hide it, but it's kind of cool. So there's a lot of, you can take a song that's already there and kind of edit it. Replace MIDI on a song track, show similar grooves. I mean, it gives you all the options in multiple places, which in a way is kind of confusing, but at the same time also helpful because when you're in the beginning stages of playing around with EZdrummer 3, you're going to be looking for stuff and you can find it in multiple places. It's confusing because there's always more than one way to find something. So it's like what works for one situation and then you're trying to like find it later. Like, how did I find that again? You have to kind of look around and then, you know, because if the song creator's not there in the beginning, let's say like you open up EZdrummer 3 and it's not there, there's a button that will allow you to open song creator. So that's pretty much what I did right here. Boop. And then it opens it up. Okay. And then you want to open up the velocities. You can adjust that stuff down there. So like when you punch in a note, when you're in the grid editor and you punch in a note, boop, they'll give you the velocities. There it is. Okay, right there. So you can literally drag it, make it louder or softer, whatever. Very handy. It's a good way to kind of add to your creativity. So like you might already have an idea. It'll help you build on that idea. That's pretty much what I'm getting at. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'm almost at 300, so I'm about 298. So it's pretty awesome. Thank you again for all the support, and I will see you guys soon.